Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about Pulsechain and more specifically why I think right now in its current situation it could be make or break time. Leave a like on the video, subscribe. We're almost at 12.2k, and make sure to check out ciphers.io, link in the description below, to help you build your dream website in a matter of weeks, right? A dashboard, block explorer, personal page, landing page, whatever you need, we can build it for you. Link in the description below. Let's look at Pulse USD. I've made a good amount in the last couple weeks here of videos on Pulsechain, looking at a bunch of different ratios. Some of them are a little heady. Some of them I try to keep very simple. This is going to be one of the more simple videos. So we've been looking at some key moving averages, right? The most recent one being, and that I said that we should keep an eye on, is the 100-day moving average. Reason being, back here, we found support more or less on it, right? You don't really care if you got in at 4.5 or 5.0 when it doubled, tripled, quadrupled, right? More or less, it bottomed around that level. Second time around, it bottomed around the same level before running up 2x. And where are we now, right? A lot of similarities, and go back and watch the previous videos if you haven't seen those already, because I'm not going to repeat myself too much on that front. But the idea is pretty simple. Right? Bottomed out over here, bottomed out over here. Question mark. Big question mark, make or break time. Now, if you look at it a bit closer, you can actually catch a few more interesting observations. One of them being this uptrend right here. A very clean uptrend, a very clean line, right? Wicked to it, pretty much to it, identically to it, and it was go time. Right? So we had how many lows? We put some arrows here. We had our first low, our second, third, and this one, okay, this one you could call one low or you could call two lows, because you can also look at this on like a 3-day time frame. I like to call this a singular low, but you can do whatever you want. And this is our fifth low before the run up. Triple bottom on yellow, more or less. What about over here, right? It's less similar in the sense of having a clean uptrend, a clean line you can draw connecting these lows. However, again, the similarity is in the idea that we bottomed around yellow, or 100-day moving average, simple moving average. But if we look at where we are now, there are more similarities in this sort of lens to that first time around. And why do I say that? Well, you know, you could be a little cheeky and connect this candle instead of the wick, right? These are all just best fits at the end of the day. But if you do that, even if you do that, you get an interesting picture forming. You have our first low, which is your lowest one, and then you start forming a little uptrend. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now if you compare to back here, 2023, early 2024, you can see the picture start forming. Where back here you had 1, 2, 3, 4 lows, and then a fifth low before we exploded up. And over here, we've formed a similar uptrend. 1, 2, 3, fourth low. And again, that fourth low is near yellow, more or less. So what was left to be had before our run up? Both times, actually. This is when all of them are a little similar in that sense. After this fourth low, come back up, come back down. Form this sort of doop, doop, right? What happened over here? Before we actually ran off, doop, doop. Your little arc. So, could we see something similar where we come back up, come back down, and then that is our fifth and final low? And again, it doesn't have to play out exactly, obviously, like last time. It probably won't play out exactly like last time. There are nuances and little differences to each time. So no guarantee there, right? Not financial advice. This is all speculation. But it's very interesting. It's very interesting to see what I see in the charts. Right? So many similarities. So many similarities. Even this initial support on yellow while it's curving down, you know, crossed it for the first time, came back down to it. Over here, crossed for the first time, came back down to it, found a local high, came back down to do this this sort of thing we talked about. It's coming back down, and it might do that sort of thing we're talking about. So we want to see yellow start curving upwards, because that was one of the check marks we needed to start actually continuing up. But it's a lagging indicator, so if price starts going upwards, then yellow will start curving upwards. But we're on it now, and that's why I think it's make or break time. Right over here, it kind of flattened out a little bit. Right, down, flattens out, goes up, down, flattening out over here potentially. So we do want to see certain things be check marked. For example, holding support here on yellow would be really good. And if you zoom in, you can see that wicks to it. We still haven't closed beneath it, and it looks like we're having a little bounce here, but we'd like to see some follow through. But again, even if we do see some follow through, there are different situations. There's no guarantee that we hold it. Let me just touch on a few different scenarios. I mean, just look at over here. We actually went down beneath it about 10% or so. So there are scenarios where we come back down. What would 10% be? You know, down at 2/8. We come back up. We did double bottom last time. Come back up, and then we run. All right. So let me draw some potential paths, I guess. This one, come back down to yellow. Beneath it, about 10% or so. Form some higher lows still relative to this low over here at 2.5, right? So around the 2.8s or so, the high 2s. So this is kind of the more bear scenario within a midterm bull case, which is this. The one that's a little more bullish is this one, where we do something similar to both of these arcs or arches and then go up. And there's obviously a more bullish scenario where we find support here and we just keep going on this uptrend, right? Higher lows, higher highs, and we connect this somehow. It's getting a little messy here, but that's another scenario, right? We just pretty much just higher. And you could ask, are we going to double, triple, quadruple like we did over here? Are we just going to double like we did over here? Are the gains diminishing? They could be. You want to average them out, you could do that, but we can't deny that this downtrend on these macro highs, it would be some level of resistance, right? Around the high 5s. And that would be a situation where we talk about that. We cross that bridge when we get there. But yeah, we're kind of finding support on yellow here. It would be really cool to see support on our 100-day MA, on the trend line. And funny enough, that converges to these lows, right? These lows that we've had that were our range lows until we broke them. So this is why I say it's make or break time, because we do have some leeway to go beneath yellow, right? Low 3s, high 2s, and still have a bull case like we did in these past two mini sub cycles. It's anyone's guess. Again, this is all speculation. I like to be a bull on Pulsechain, on Ethereum, on Bitcoin. I like when crypto goes up more than when it goes down. But yeah, guys, this is sort of the analysis. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Leave a like if you found this useful. Check out cypherist.io, link in the description below. Help you build your dream website in a matter of weeks. And yeah, subscribe to the channel. Let's get to 12.2K. Again, this is my analysis on Pulsechain. Is it make or break time? We'll find out. We'll stay tuned and keep an eye on Pulsechain. I'll catch you guys in the next video.